Very happy to speak to you today for the channel Lex Consilium Foundation and the playlist Going Strong. In conversation today with General VK Singh, who has been a very senior officer from the Corps of Signals of Indian Army. He retired. The last assignment he had was of the Chief Signal Officer in Western Command at Chandi Mandir. He is an eminent military historian, has written extensively, and his work for the Corps of Signals regimental history is a reference material, so also the other literature. Today, talking to General VK Singh, my first question to him is that after the initial operations of Indo-Pak conflict, Army Headquarter had issued an instructions in 48 that no further offensive shall take place, and this was in view of the matter having traveled to the United Nations. Yet later on, offensive or operations took place at Zozila, Dras and Kargil, and at that stage General Cariappa was the GOC in C Western Command. Now, what was actually the situation that led to this? Defiance of orders, so to say.
Okay. You see, when these orders were passed that no offensive operations will be undertaken, Cariappa protested very strongly, because they said unless we continue our operations, all these places, Kargil, Ladakh, etc., they will be taken away from our hands. Most important thing, it will introduce a defensive mentality in the armed forces, which may do a lot of harm in the long run. And to continue the operations, he asked for 3 additional brigades, which were denied to him. He was given 1 brigade and told to undertake limited offensives. Cariappa disregarded these orders, and as you know, after that the offensive was mounted. We had to send even tanks to Zozila. After Zozila was captured, the operations continued, and Ladakh was also brought under control. Now, by disobeying these orders, Cariappa put his entire career at risk. If he had failed, there is no doubt he would have been sacked. So the country owes an eternal debt to Cariappa for his courage and what he did in 1948.
But what could have been the reason that out of 3 brigades that he made a bid for, only 1 was given to him?
Yes, because there were other commitments which the Indian Army had. They had to undertake operations in Hyderabad. For that they required troops. That was the main reason given by Army Headquarters, the constraints. We didn't have enough troops, and there were internal security problems. Most important was the Hyderabad operations, for which.
But as you brought out, the primary consideration before Cariappa was that he didn't want the troops to get into a defensive or a protective mentality.
Yeah, he said, you see, once we are doing well and having come so far, if we suddenly stop operations, how will it affect not only the morale, but the total mentality of the troops will be affected. From an offensive, they will go to a defensive mindset, which is harmful in the long run. And to that extent, he was right.
So, like it is said, nothing succeeds like success.
Like success, and because he succeeded,
yes,
he continued and became the chief. Otherwise, there was no question.
Quite right.
Going up.
Thank you very much. And this is interesting, as you would have seen. And be with us. Continue. You will have more coming from General VK Singh. Thank you.